gonna have some fun today. I got a really awesome training. It's something that I've been working on for 15 months and lots of trial and error. And so we're gonna let people come in, get everybody situated, grab a notepad, pen. We're gonna go over some things. I'm gonna talk about a lot of the successes that I've had that and the lessons within them. I'm gonna talk about my exact playbook, and we'll get started here in a minute or two. Thanks, Dee Dee. Appreciate you coming back and the compliments. How's everybody's new year? Kicking off to a fast start. Market's heating up. Business pipeline on its way in. I'll assume y'all are on a listing call right now, setting an appointment as we speak. That's why, you're just so busy, so on fire. En fuego. Vincent, Stacy, Larry, Robert, Rhonda, Nicole, Martha, Manuel, Linda, Chris, Kathy, Jennifer, Janice. Anybody from California? Hi, Linda. Thanks for coming. Anybody out here in San Diego? South Carolina. Where about in South Carolina? Southern Oregon. Hilton Head. I lived in Johns Island for a little while. I was working for Boomtown ROI. They recently got bought out by Inside Real Estate, but I was a senior executive consultant for Boomtown. Yeah, not far. I was a senior executive for Boomtown and working with teams and building out their audiences and their leads and retargeting marketing and lead gen and follow up and all that good stuff. And that was in Charleston, but I lived in Johns Island, had a house out there for a while. All right, it's 1 o'clock. For the sake of everybody's time, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Josh Pono. I am I guess my title is like director of training. For me, I worked with Ideal Estate on some different programs, trying to help them with some of the stuff that they were doing. And I just give back to the community. I am building audiences. I am giving back to agents. My mission and purpose is to help other people learn about systems, lead gen, video, content creation, marketing, so that people can go out and design their businesses to serve their lives. Businesses were meant to be a system that can grow and serve our purposes in life. And video, content creation, lead generation, these skills are all really important when it comes to real estate. And so I run an office out here in San Diego. Over the next 4 or 5 years, I'll be launching another 24, 25 offices. I'm a systems guy that understands that a great business is built off of systems that work when even average people run them. If we build businesses that will only work if we are in the business, then we've really just created a job. So I still sell about 12 homes a year just by referral. Most of my time is set aside for building agent systems in my marketplace. I've got 24 people in my organization. I grew that over the first year that I opened my office. So the stuff that I'm bringing to you is stuff that I'm personally using in my business to grow my business. It's stuff that is personally working at scale with other agents in my office. And it is something that is just the beginning. So video and content creation, we're going to talk about how to generate hand-raising leads from video and content. And we're going to talk about how to build your digital strategies and how to ensure that you're following the right steps. So grab a pen, grab a notepad. I promise that I'm going to have to move quickly through this, and there's going to be a lot of gems and a lot of ahas that hit, and it's going to be something that you want to write down. My goal for this webinar is I'm going to give you the 8 steps that I would go through if I was starting a brand new audience after everything that I've learned, after 15 years of working with agents on real estate marketing, after 8 years of working at all the major tech companies that are experts in that space, after working with some of the most brilliant minds in real estate, when it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm going to walk you through the 8 steps. I don't have an audience. I don't have, a digital footprint. I don't know where my customers at. I don't know what to do. Where do I go next? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to walk you through the high level stuff. And I'm also going to get down into the nuts and bolts of it so that if you want to go out there and do it all on your own, this is going to be that step-by-step process. And I'll give you guys some references along the way. Okay. So first and foremost, we always want to start with the end in mind, and we want to know who is our ideal client. And some of you guys are going to hear some things on here that you've heard a million times, and it just hasn't hit. We're going to dive into some of these things. What is an ideal client, right? So the ideal client, and by the way, your ideal client is going to evolve over time. The number one reason why people do not get started, in my opinion, on this is they're nervous to make mistakes. I don't want to be seen as fake. I don't want to be seen as inauthentic. I don't want to be cheesy. I'm not good on video. I'm nervous people won't like my opinions on social. I'm nervous that it'll look awkward. I'm nervous people will judge me. Blah, 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 blah. When your vision and your goal in your business is so big or is so clear, you're going to have a couple people that don't like it. I heard this phenomenal quote. Okay. I heard this phenomenal quote and I absolutely love it because it's just so awesome. And what it says is, if you're offended with anything that I've done, text me. And if you don't have my cell phone to text me, you don't know me well enough to judge me. Right? Oftentimes we limit ourselves on what we're going to do. And I got to tell you, the first 100 videos that I made were trash. I threw them all away. I never even used them. But what I did get out of it was confidence and being comfortable in video. And I learned about who I was. So we're just going to throw all that out the window. It's 2024. It's the year of the Mamba. We're going to throw all hesitations out the window and we're just going to get after it. So number one is we got to identify our ideal client. And that might be, I want to work with pre-foreclosure clients. I want to work with cancel and expired clients. I want to work with military clients. I want to work with relocation clients. I want to work with people that sell and buy. I want to work with probate clients. I want to work with people that are really interested in gardening. I want to work with people that are really interested in baseball. I want to be the go-to person for my school's, my kid's school. I want to be, whatever it is, I want to work with something. Get this specific. Okay, so I want to work with this type of client with this type of price point in this type of area. And I want people that are going to be a right fit for me. I'll give you an example. I've done trainings before and I've had people say, I would never listen to somebody wearing a hat. I want to work with those people. I like hats because I got this like hair that I don't know what to do with. I'm still trying to figure it out. So I like hats. That's not who I want to work with, right? So pick the people that really give you energy. Pick the people, and that's how I got started. I'm like, all right, who do I like working with? Who, like, when I work with, man, I just appreciate their perspective. I always want to go the extra mile for them. I don't ever want to let them down. It doesn't feel like work. I'm enthusiastic about the projects we're working on. And as you go through this process, okay, understand that you don't have to have the end all be all ideal fit client for you right now. Because what will happen is on this journey, that process will evolve and it'll get clearer and clearer. Just get started and start writing. Start writing, start thinking back to who have you worked with? Who are you working with now? Who, just like sit down for a moment, wake up, have a cup of coffee, ponder life and go, man, who just really, about that Susie. Susie was awesome. What was awesome about Susie, right? And go down that road and really identify it. Because before we know who our target audience is, who is our ideal client, going after them, building content, building platforms, having technology and messages, it's just not going to ever give us the rewards we want. For example, they asked Lamborghini, why don't you advertise on television? They said, our clients don't watch television. Right? So we need to know who we are targeting, who we are going after. And we need to write that down and we need to get clear about that. That's the number one thing that you want to do. Okay. Number one, write it down. identify your ideal or right fit client. Who, if you could have 100% of your clients like that, life would be a breeze. That's who we want to go after. We want to go with people that know us, that like us, that trust us, and that love our approach. Ones that we feel comfortable with, ones that allow us to get into our creative zone of genius, ones that really just let us paint for our art, so to speak, which is our craft. Okay. Number two, once you identify that right fit client, we want to create the lists of problems that they have. Okay. As an entrepreneur, okay, everybody, by the way, if you're wearing your realtor hat right now, throw it out the window. There are no realtors allowed in this space. We're all entrepreneurs. We're all business owners. We are not the technician. Right now, we are the visionary. We're the entrepreneur. We're the CEO. Okay. If you haven't read this book right here, going through it again, The E-Myth Revisited, this thing will blow your mind and remind you of all the mistakes you made as you just try to put this thing together. But there's three personalities right now. Just so everybody knows, we're in CEO, manager. CEO, entrepreneur. So the realtor, let's get out of them. As entrepreneurs, as business owners, okay, we want to deliver value. In order to deliver value, we have to know what their problems are. Okay. And here's the easy part and the best part. One, there's a million problems that people have. Okay. But to start off, we can go with the problems that everybody else has. So for example, I'm going to keep this very generic. Okay. Buyers in most markets, or I'll just talk about my market. In my market, there's almost no inventory. Like we've got massively low, like microscopic inventory. In the crash, we had like 25,000 listings. We've got like 6,000 listings, right? So inventory is a problem if you're a buyer. If you're a buyer, you can't find a ton of options out there. Another problem, interest rates. Yes, they've come down a little bit. Yes, we should be softening. Yes, buyers excited about it, but it's still 6%. That's still a problem. Monthly payment, problem. Not knowing what neighborhoods they want to live in, problem. Okay. Selling and buying. Sometimes they're nervous about losing their house or being homeless or selling high and buying high or giving up their interest rate. There's all these problems. And guess what? They all have a majority of the problems are all the same. Okay. And you can get very granular. And the more granular you can get when you're creating this problem and solution list, the better off you are. And here's the exciting part. The more problems you can identify, the more value you can deliver, the higher commission rates you can charge. Everybody's worried about this lawsuit. Everybody's worried about what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what's going to happen. I'll tell you what's going to happen. The agents that can showcase value at an unprecedented rate will not be affected. In fact, they will benefit no matter what happens. The agents that can showcase their value. What do listing agents do better than buyer agents? They showcase value of why they can be trusted with their house. Agents that can take listings and showcase value are going to have no problem explaining to buyers why their commission rate is way better to pay than getting a house that's going to cost you $100,000 because you tried to do it on your own and you found foundation issues. You didn't use the right inspectors. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You got hosed in the negotiations. You got blah, 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 blah. A great agent is worth their commission, but they need to be able to articulate the value. And here's the really exciting part about building your digital footprint. It puts pressure on the CEO, us, to get really good at delivering value. Okay. So we create all the problem lists. Get a piece of paper, write down it all, and have fun. Spend time with it. Another problem with buyers, they hate moving. Anybody enjoy moving? I love moving. I love packing boxes. I love carrying boxes. I love managing the kids while the movers are breaking stuff. Said no buyer ever, right? Problem is that they hate moving. Okay. They hate going through the process. They hate being stressed out. They hate not being in control. There's a million problems, and that's the exciting part. Okay. And so you're gonna write them all down, and then you're gonna rank the easiest ones to solve. Reorganize them, rank the easiest ones to solve. Now, the harder ones to solve are where we get to charge more money. But everybody on this call, if you're starting out doing your digital footprints, if you're starting out building an audience, the easiest ones to solve are the ones that are going to have they're going to be the least difficult for you to get into the space of doing video, doing content, because you have these conversations every day. I would imagine that if somebody in here said, well, how do you get me extra inventory? Well, I have off-market properties. I can go in my Facebook networks. I can go call cancel and expireds for you. I have avenues to find more inventory for you. I'm an agent that networks. I know the best listing agents. I got coming soon access. I'm in with the builders. Every single one of those problems, once you write them down and you reorganize them from easiest to most difficult to solve, you then can write out all the solutions. Interest rates. Obviously, we can't solve the interest rate, but we most certainly could give them multiple strategies about the 2-to-1 buy down, about buying down the rate, right? About putting in, there's all different types of solutions that we can do. Okay. They could assume the loan. They could do a sub 2. Now, I'm not saying that those are but all we're talking about is different solutions. They don't have to work for everybody, but they are working to solve that problem. The key is you're an agent that knows the client's problems. You know who the ideal fit client is. You know who their problems are, and you have numerous ways to solve them, no matter what form or shape that customer comes in as. Okay. Step 1, right fit client. Step 2, write down all their problems and all your solutions. Okay, next, we've got to research. Step 3, we've got to research where these people hang out. Okay, my example. Okay, I am all about building a nationwide brand about systems and business and higher level learning and higher level growing and more leads and more conversions and bigger thinking. My audiences, they hang out online. They hang out in networking groups. They hang out in Facebook groups. They hang out in YouTube groups. They have all these different groups. They're all over Instagram. They're everywhere. They hang out at brokerage groups, right? So we want to research where our customers are. Okay. For example, if you want to work with military clients, there's all kinds of different networking groups about being a military family relocating. They're on Facebook. They're on different, they're watching different videos. They search Google. Best parts about, how to use a VA loan to your benefit. They're online. They're in local networking groups. You have to research where these people hang out. And if your brain just said, shoot, I don't know where they hang out, just figure out, just relabel that statement to, I'm going to figure out where they hang out, and start asking and start thinking and start researching and start going to Google. Where do these people hang out? Start calling title, start calling escrow. By the way, title and escrow, they're usually really great people to tap into. 1, they see all the transactions going through the market. 2, title reps and escrow reps are absolutely dying to provide value to agents. When I need data or I need information, I don't go research it. I call my team. I call my digital marketing team. I call my title rep. I call my escrow rep. I call other agents in my market that are working with different types of clients. I'm like, where are you finding these people? How do you find them? There's all these relocation groups, right? I want to be the local group for the parents for the school. There's a school group online. There's all these different places that these people congregate. I want to work with people that love pets. There's so many pet groups. So many pet groups. There's a lot of people that are talking trash about Facebook because it's the older platform, and Instagram's amazing, and TikTok's where it's at, and these places are going viral, and this Facebook was built to bring communities together. There's a million Facebook groups. Just stick with me on that for a minute. How we're going to get into them, what we're going to offer them, all that stuff, we're coming. But number 3 is research and find out where these people congregate. Where does your audience congregate? The reason why that's important is because we go where our customers are. We go where our customers are. If I knew for a fact there was going to be 1 million real estate agents that all wanted to change their brokerage at a ballet show, despite my personal opinion of a ballet show, I would go there. And I may even wear a pink tutu just to make a point. I'm all in. The point is as business owners, take a pic. You don't want to see it. As business owners, we need to be able to understand where these people are at. And then we can choose the platforms for where we want to go. For right now, one of the hottest things around is agent attraction or client attraction, right? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. These are all areas where people are untapped. Okay. In my personal opinion, I want to have a digital footprint that matches across the board and where I go. Okay. And so, for example, right? So if you go to, here, let me do some screen sharing. If you go to one of my websites for my systems and stuff, I've got this website here. Okay. I have a website. The branding is the same. You go to Instagram and you see my profile on Instagram. Okay. The branding, as soon as my internet loads up, you guys can see my Instagram channel now. The branding is the same. The branding is the same. Okay. And the content is similar. Okay. Everything, you go to LinkedIn. You go to LinkedIn. Photos are the same. Branding is the same. Page is the same. Right? Facebook, I've got a personal page, and I've also got let's see. I've also got the branding. Again, the branding is always the same across the board. Right? And so no matter what platform I have what I call, or what many people call, a digital footprint where everything looks the same. So no matter whether they're on this platform, that platform, this platform, that platform, everything's the same. Okay. Now, step 4, you want to build out that digital footprint. So you need your headshot that you like, right? You say, I don't like my headshot. I don't like it either. So I called my buddy, and I'm not joking. I called my buddy who's a photographer. I said, I need some headshots. He said, what do you want to do? I looked at my wife. I said, hey, this listing has got a waterfall in the backyard. Let's go to this vacant listing and let's use that chair right there and let's sit in there. And I literally went to a listing, took a look at the listing. It was a cool listing. I was like, man, I like this house. Took a photo, had it done. There you go. Right? Well, it isn't expensive at all, but you need a photo. You need to choose some colors. I don't really care what colors it is. Colors do matter. Like you don't want to do like aggressive colors, right? But just pick some colors. And by the way, try different things. Like my team that I worked with, I must have gone through 4 different color schemes. I had him send me different things and I said, let's try this photo, let's try that. And I just played with it for a while. And it took me longer than I thought. I was like, oh, this will take me 5, 10, 15 minutes because sometimes I have no concept of time. Ask some of my partners. I'm like, yeah, we should probably be able to knock that out in about 30 minutes. They're like, have you actually? I'm like, well, if everything goes perfectly and there's no distraction, we'll be fine. And it takes me like 3 weeks. But the point is that that's part of the process. And when you first go through it, it takes you a little bit longer. Now, with my team, everybody knows what's going on. It gets posted easily. I mean, it's just systematic. And we'll talk about how to leverage time because I know everybody's wearing a lot of hats. I know everybody's struggling with time. It's all of our biggest challenges. Our biggest challenges, we got to bring in the business. We got to work on the business. We got to work on systems. We got to deal with fires. We got to deal with problems. We got to deal with all kinds of stuff, right? But the digital footprint, we now have the ideal client. We got the list of the challenges. We got the list of the solutions. We've researched where they're going to be at. And on those platforms, we have then built our digital footprint. The digital footprint consists of your website, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your YouTube, your TikTok, your Facebook, whatever platform is relevant for you. If you want to work with seniors that are working to make a transition to go into their final chapter or senior care facilities, you probably can skip TikTok. You probably can skip LinkedIn. They're not looking for jobs, right? There's different areas that you can market. And of course, there's always that one person in every audience or that one agent that is, well, hey, don't limit that. They're on every platform. That's cool. But for you, it's going to be about time management, right? Being on 2 platforms is a lot easier than being on 5. And again, we're working on the habits because as we speed up, take bite-sized pieces. So, YouTube, that's huge. It's a little bit of a longer term play. Instagram's great, Facebook's great, LinkedIn's great. TikTok, I'll do some dancing TikToks in that tutu for the ballet some other time. And I know agents that do really well on TikTok, but choose your platform, focus on the habits, and start with the digital footprint. Okay, photo, colors, tagline, right? What's your business stand for? What's your business stand for? What do you want people to know about your business? What's the mission? What's the purpose? Okay, that will weave through. And by the way, throw it out there, send it to your closest friends, ask them for their opinion, take it with a grain of salt because you're the CEO, you're the business, but ask people that you trust, have your wise counsel take a look at it and go from there. By the way, I purposely did not choose silver and black, even though that's my company's colors, even though that is the Raiders colors, because nobody likes Raiders fans. So get rid of it. Just go with the colors that are going to be kind of neutral. My biggest thing that I can highlight there, the biggest thing that I can highlight there is that I see way too many agents take way too long just to get started. Nervous that it won't look right, it won't sound right. I promise you, people aren't paying that much attention in the beginning. The algorithms are not pushing you out that much. I promise you, your first few posts, your first few videos, most people don't even know that I went through like four different things where I posted it, tried it, looked in, because most of it doesn't go live anyway. It's the going through the process. Funny story. So the first time I was doing video, we're going to get to create the content, which is the next point. And I'll share this experience with you. I've been recruited to this very successful team that I wasn't at for a very long time. I wasn't a good fit for them from anyway, we'll leave it at that. And I wanted to commit to video. This is a couple of years ago. And it was with the Altman Brothers $1 Million Listing LA. And they were launching in San Diego. And I have lead gen and systems experience and it's higher price listings. And I thought I wanted to sell luxury. And I'm like, video is it. I've been putting it on the side. I'm just going to do it. And like for the first week or so, I could not get in front of the camera. And I'm a really personable, I'm kind of that extroverted guy that goes in and is like, let's make sure everybody has a good time. But for some reason, I could not get over the hump of doing video. And so I'm like, you know what I need? I need to bring my wife because I won't want to be embarrassed in front of her because she sees me as, she's my biggest fan. She's a bigger fan of me than me, which is why I married her. And I'm like, I want to do really well for her. So I'll bring her. And I just, I was doing the first few shoots and I was like, man, I'm just not bringing the energy. I'm just not feeling it. I'm like, I need a cup of coffee. Now I already had a cup of coffee on the way there. So I have another one. I do like another 5 videos. I'm like, it's just not kicking. I need more energy. So I take like another cup of coffee. 15 minutes later, I'm like, we need more energy. So I take another cup of coffee. The last like 7 videos that I did, like my eyes were like this. And I was like basically screaming at the camera. I had to throw away the whole thing. I mean, I made 25 videos and by the end, I just looked like I was just wired. People probably thought I was on drugs or something, but I threw them away. And guess what? The next session I went into, I was like, well, it can't get any worse than that. And before you know it, I would get in rhythm and I would find my momentum and I would find who I was on video and I would find, how I wanted to approach it where I felt comfortable and all the awkwardness just went away. And now I can hop on and just make a reel. I can hop here. Sometimes my marketing team's like, hey, I need one more post for this platform. Send me this. And I'm like, okay, let me grab something, throw up the camera setup, 30 seconds, knock it out. No big deal because I've just practiced, right? It's like everything else. Your first buyer consultation, your first listing consultation, nervous. It's 45 degrees outside. You're like, is it hot in here? I'm sweating, right? We learn. So, and that leads us to number 5. Okay. Creating your content to fill the platform. Okay. Because as we go to set this up, we need to have some level of authority. We need to have some base layer of content because I promise you, as you post, as you market, as you advertise, as you call, people are going to watch even though they're not liking and commenting. One of the coolest things about this journey is it started to create conversations within my sphere of influence. The people I wasn't even targeting, the people I wasn't even growing automatically. So for example, I play ice hockey, but I never wanted to be the realtor that walks in and was like, hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Just sold another home. Anybody has any real estate questions before the game? I'm your guy. I didn't want to be that person. That was my safe space. I wanted to leave that place untouched because that was my place to disconnect. That was my place not to be a realtor, not to be a husband, not to be a father, just to be a goofball. No pressure, no cell phone, just fun. But what I noticed is all of a sudden, as I was posting consistently, as I was building out the audience, all of a sudden, everybody around me was like, hey, man, congratulations, you're killing it. I wasn't selling any more homes. In fact, I was selling less because I was focused on building the business, and I was selling less homes because by design, like I wanted to get out of production. And everybody came up to me and they're like, man, you're killing it. I've been watching your content. Nobody was commenting. Nobody was liking, but they were noticing and they were viewing it as a level of authority, right? That's another reason why people stop. Well, they're measuring their success in likes. They're measuring their success in follows. They're measuring their success in outbound, like, I called you, hey, I saw your video, I love you, I want to work with you, and of course I'll pay 5% commission on the listing side only for you, right? Like, that's not what success looks like in the beginning. In the beginning, it's kind of you're posting things out and you're really nervous. Do people like it? Do people love it? But people will pay attention, and just the consistency, they associate that with success. It was very, very funny to me. People were congratulating me, and I wasn't posting anything about like I sold this home, I sold that home. People don't really care about that. They care about value. We're going to get to that in a minute. Actually, no, that was a good time. So what content was I creating? I was creating all the content off of my challenge list. There's no inventory, so I would do a video. How to create, how to use 3 strategies in today's market to make sure that you never overpay on the house. 3 strategies that every buyer must have in order to find more homes that no one else is looking for. Tired of looking on the MLS with no additional inventory? Check out this video where I highlight the 2 areas that everybody's missing out on and where the best deals are happening. Scared and nervous that you'll sell your house and be homeless? 2 strategies in the California contracts that guarantee you can sell for the most amount of money without having to worry about having to move twice or be homeless. Nervous about the market? Think you're overpaying? Here's 2 strategies to make sure you buy below market value to give yourself equity the moment you move in. Hate moving? 2 strategies to ensure you don't have to lift a single finger when it comes to packing and moving your boxes to your brand new home. If you're recruiting agents to your team, what are their problems? Not enough leads, not enough closings, not enough training, not a good culture, not great leadership. 3 strategies to instantly add a more positive mindset in your business every single step of the way. The top 3 lead sources that helped us grow our business by 85%. Okay, one of the areas that you can go to is all the concerns and fears. I'm nervous that I'm going to be rushed into it. I'm nervous that the agent's going to push me. How to have a stress-free process while finding the best home at the best price in any market. How to interview multiple lenders to ensure you're getting the absolute best rate with the lowest closing costs or loan origination costs. 3 questions to ask any real estate agent to make sure they're on your side. The top 3 questions you should ask anyone before listing your home with them. There's always an attention grabber. There's always a highlight of what the problem is. And if they show up to the content or if they download your PDF, they're going to get that itch scratched. I'll post this chat. Does anybody know who Alex Hormozi is? Alex Hormozi gives away free courses on how to do lead magnets and how to make value statements to customers and how to use grabbing posts that'll grab the attention. Jeff's question, where do you get content to post like that? You build it. You build it. And that's where you create the content. You create it where your customers like to convert to have conversations. So for example, whenever I'm creating content, and by the way, each value, each solution has four, usually, my watch is trying to talk to me about stuff, has four different areas, right? You've got text, email, video, and posts. You can also throw calls in there, but calls are more of a cold outreach, right? We want to create leads that respond. We want to create leads that respond to our marketing, right? So if I want to talk about, the top 3 things that every buyer should know before buying a home in San Diego, I have it in a text, I have it in an email, I have it in a post, like a graphic, like a PDF with the actual strategy, and I have it on a video. Some people like to watch video. Some people love texting. Some people love emails. Some people like emails because it lets me do my research and I feel safe. They can't get to me, right? We want to approach people in their most uncomfortable environment. You can do it with letters. Letters are challenging though, because getting people's home address and getting them to opt in with the home address is one of the higher difficulties in marketing. But getting people to like, to subscribe, to follow, to join your group, to see your post, all of the platforms, keep this in mind, all of the platforms are designed to do this. If somebody that has a certain criteria or a certain personality profile based on their actions online, everybody's profiled, everybody's put in all these categories and segments, really so they can monetize the audience, and we'll get to that in a minute. But all these platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, they are designed that when you put out content, the AIs analyze it. They then watch who's engaging with it. And they then, depending on how people engage with it, push it to other people that are just like the people that engage with it. So when you figure out your ideal client, when you understand their problems, when you know where they're at, when you have a footprint that they recognize as authority and they engage with the content that you're building, the platforms will recognize that slowly in the beginning, faster and faster and faster with the hockey stick curve, and they will push it to more people. And so you build out your content. You take that list of the top 4 or 5 problems and you create 4 or 5 pieces of content that you have in your systems database. Drive is a great place to do it. And every time you can recycle this stuff every 8-9 weeks, because why? People don't remember what you posted 8 or 9 weeks ago. Half of them didn't even see it. There's like 8 value props that we use with webinars and different types of things that, and initially you're like, well, I already did that. I don't want to be repetitive. That's not the way social works. I put an email out to a group of 1,000 people, and like, I don't know, 150 opened it up. I can send that same content, different tagline. Same content, different tagline. Same content, different title. Same content, different subject line. And I can rotate that stuff. Okay, once we create that content, step 6 is these become the lead magnets. And all those taglines that I give you, top 3 strategies, what we want to do is give first. Most of the time when we're building an audience, if you look at any Facebook page, and I appreciate real estate agents that go out and they post regularly, because you know what? The algorithms, the way it works, it's better to post every day consistently over time, or every other day. Whatever you do, it's better to post even if people don't love it. It's better to post consistently, because the algorithms also, not that they penalize you, but in the beginning, this is how most people start. They start for a month, they start for 2 months, they start for 3 months. They start going down this track, and then they get tired, they get bored, they don't see the instant gratification, they don't see the results right away, and so they all fall off. Everybody wants to go viral, but nobody wants to be a consistent player. Okay, the first year I did YouTube, I did 165 videos. I'll show you. The first year I did YouTube, I did 165 videos. And in the beginning, the subscriber growth was slow. And I was really, I mean, literally a majority of them came from people that joined this webinar that really liked the channel, and they would just subscribe. Thank you for those of you who did. And what I did is I put out videos solving all the agents' problems, from cold calling and doing different videos on integrations and Zapier to make sure that you don't have any data entry, and just playing with different ideas, different thumbnails, different things. And the beautiful part is it just keeps going on and on and on and on, and it ramps up. In the beginning, I got very, very, very few organic leads. What it did give me was the ability, DDIC in a second. I'm going to save some time at the end for questions. Just hold that question. What it does give you is the authority and credibility. So most people get YouTube and all these platforms kind of wrong. They do it to get an instant gratification and return on business. I'm going to do these videos. Somebody's going to love me. Somebody's going to call me, and I'm going to get a listing from it. Over that whole year, it helped raise my closing percentages on all my listing presentations and buyer presentations. It helped raise the amount of people that wanted to set appointments with me. Why? Because when I would have my conversations with buyer consultations, seller consultations, agent consultations, partner consultations, vendor consultations, those platforms became my leverage and my authority. So when people say, oh, send me some stuff, I'm like, glad you asked, because I'm going to show you that I work. I'm going to show you that I've got ideas. I'm going to show you that I've got subscribers, I've got followers, I've got this, I've got that, I've got all these different things, and people go, wow, that's great. And then you can leverage those audiences within your presentation. And you can ask questions like, hey, have you reviewed anybody else's stuff? Are they out there? I'm an expert in the process. I train people. I give out these different things. I'm a trainer of buyers and sellers and investors. All my content is geared to educate people. I'm an educator. Most agents just out there, they're just trying to get a commission. I educate people. I've already proven my value. You're absolutely right, Linda. And by the way, my stuff's all agent-based, which is funny. And I almost felt weird going in there. But guess what? They look at this stuff for 2 seconds, go, wow, this guy's impressive. And that's their impression. And then they run with it. Because the funny part about it is when I go to listing presentation and buyer consultations and I leverage this, they're like, hey, send me some stuff. I'm like, here you go. Here's a little bit of social stalking to get your weird on. Go figure out who I am. They already see that. They see the effort. They see that I'm not hiding. They see that I'm established. But the funny part about it is all my videos on here, if you actually watch them, it talks about dealing with their problems. It's like how to get a stubborn seller to do a listing reduction. And there's a video on the strategies how to do that. How to handle the objections when your clients are giving you knee-jerk reactions. How to make sure that they're not acting emotionally, right? Like all of this stuff is actually designed to showcase that I have a mastery in communication to get them to do exactly what I want. And they're like, this guy's good. I'm like, it's literally what I'm using on you now. But again, they start asking you questions like, I was in a listing presentation. She goes, so you're like this client educator, you're this trainer. Like, why are you here at my table? And that's like the best thing ever. She's already like, wait, what? He's so big. You think I had a discount commission on that one? Right? And so that's where the value is in the first year of doing social, is that no longer when somebody says, send me some information, do you send them like a handwritten, like a quick email, or maybe you send them like a little business card? Like everybody's got that. Everybody's got that. And by the way, when you're doing expires, when you're doing open houses, when you're doing, leverage this stuff everywhere. Hey, I've got a channel. And in all my lead follow, like drip marketing doesn't work. Hey, if you thought about buying, or hey, I'm just checking in on you. You still want to buy? Like that stuff doesn't work. But what does work is going, hey, I've got this channel that educates buyers. It's more relevant than anything you can Google. It's hyper local. It's awesome. I've spent XYZ time putting it together. Let me know if you like it. Boom, send it. You can see when they're watching stuff. And then when you follow up, you're actually following up. Hey, what'd you think of that channel? Right? And you're leveraging it everywhere. In the first year of investing into your digital footprint, one, you're finding your identity. Two, you're focusing on how to leverage it in all your conversations. And by the way, I get on a little bit of a tangent. Sometimes I'm not the most linear trainer. Number 7 is drive traffic to it. And that's what I was just talking about, right? So 6 is creating the lead mags, creating all that content, creating all that value. And number 7 is driving traffic to your platform. Because in the beginning, it's not going to organically just take off. It's your job to drive it to it. So I'm on a phone with a cancel and expire. Hey, I've got 3 videos on my YouTube channel that talks about the 3 things you should ask your agent on why it didn't sell and what he or she intends to do to get you different results. I got another video that says if you're going to interview agents, which you might want to do since the first time it didn't succeed, 3 questions you should ask every agent that you're going to do. And by the way, all 3 of those things that they should ask questions are all competitive differentiators. So they go and watch a video and they're like, they're like, yeah, you know what? I do need to ask somebody how many years they've been doing canceled and expired listings. Josh, how long you been doing canceled and expired listings? 15 years. Name an agent that's going to say that 9 out of 10 times. Probably not going to happen, right? So we can frame our content that is valuable to them, but it just leads it back to us. We drive traffic at open houses. We can do Facebook ads. We can do content giveaway. We can post it on our social. Hey, everybody, just launched a new video about part of the reason why I do Ideal Estate stuff is because I'm driving traffic to my social. I have to take on that responsibility. Because YouTube, Instagram, Facebook is a longer term game to where it starts to work when you sleep at night. But I'll tell you this much, in any given market, there's 0 reason why, if you focus on this and you put it in place and you stay consistent with it, one day you'll wake up and you'll have 20 deals that are coming in automatically on autopilot. The phone just rings. Hey, saw your stuff. But in the meantime, everything we do, mailers, flyers, door knocking, open houses, FSBOs, cancel and expireds, letters of the heart, farming, just sold cards, just listed cards, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, all of it is lead magnet, offer of value, give. And sometimes in the beginning, they're like, this guy's giving me something to get something. Sure, there will be people that I give stuff to. They're like, this solved all my problems and now I want to work with you more. Great. But there's also going to be a lot of people that are like, this guy's awesome. Thanks for giving me the stuff. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I already got an agent, but man, you're my backup automatically. You're the best. Who cares? Just give. In order to receive, you must give. And that's the mentality. Okay. Last and not least is monetize the audience. Agents try to monetize their audience way too soon. Okay, number 7 will get you from ruining number 8. Number 7, if all you're ever doing is giving stuff away, you'll get hand-raising leads. You'll get people that are like, I like your style. I like your content. I'm hiring you because the other 2 people we interviewed didn't have any of that. And I'm a techie and I love that you're doing that. I'm going to work with you. You're going to get business from it. But what happens is most agents try to start making solicitations way too soon. Let me give you an example of how this shows up. And I'm guilty of it. I once bought a t-shirt in my first year of real estate. I bought a t-shirt that says top 10 things to do before you list your house. Number 1, call Josh Pono. He handles all the other 9. I thought it was funny. But It was cheesy. Online on social, hey, I just sold this home. If you need a fantastic realtor, call me. Not for nothing. There's a lot of people that can sell a home. Is that your competitive differentiator, that you didn't screw that listing up? You didn't jack up that buyer? I've been there. I've done it. And let's take a step out of the realtor thinks that's awesome. Look, I'm successful. I'm sold. People will be more attracted to the person that doesn't talk about. If you look me up online on social, you'll notice I almost never talk about my accomplishments. Almost never. If I'm talking about my accomplishments, it's through the voice of somebody else. Hey, everybody, let me tell you about this person. They hopped on my plan. I'm super proud of them. They worked my system. They followed my plan. And now they're getting 2-3 listings a month. They're a master of expireds. They're now free to go out and create all their own business, and they're having an awesome time. But really, if it wasn't for their hard work, because most people have my system and they don't work it, he worked it. He succeeded. I'm super proud of him. That's what my bragging about me looks like. Now, once you've warmed up the audience, and you'll know if you warmed up the audience enough. And here's what I mean. When you go to give away a piece of value, so you could, let's say you found the group, you've created a group, you've worked with a group. Let's say that you put a post out that says, hey, everybody, I just shot a video training of the 3 strategies that are helping buyers get 2% off of their mortgage rates right now. Who wants the training I just shot? People go, I'm in, I'm interested, I want it, I'll take it. If you're getting numerous leads off of that post, then your audience is warmed up. Ever offer to do a home buyer consultation or a buyer seminar or a listing seminar or something online and nobody responds? It's because the audience is too cold. It means you got to give them more value first. You're asking too soon. And by the way, I've done it, and it's not going to impact your success. It means nothing. People have short-term memories. I remember one time I called up a friend because I was in bold training. They're like, call up your friends and ask them for referrals. And I called up a buddy of mine, was just like, hey man, you buying a home? Do you know anybody buying a home? And I'd like just met him, and it really turned him off. For the next couple of weeks, it was super awkward. He thought of me as like a real weirdo. Now we coach hockey with our kids together, and we're friends, right? Like people, they move on. You make a mistake, don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. You can clean up spilt milk or spilt almond milk. Okay. You identify your ideal client. You create the challenges of your customers that they have, the problems that they have, and you write down, you figure out what the solutions are. You research and find out where they're hanging out, right? Again, like if somebody, there's all these types of, if you're doing military, there's all types of military relocation groups, Facebook, Instagram, there's all kinds of people that they like certain things, right? There's Instagram pages, military relocation, that audience, like you can tap into different audiences. You identify all that, you build out your digital footprint, you choose the platforms you're going to focus on, you create content to fill up those platforms, you create your lead magnets where you're offering a PDF, a video, a text, an email, a strategy, and you're getting the offers ready to be pushed out. You drive the traffic to your your platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You're driving traffic to it in your presentations, your phone calls, your cold calls, your door knocking, everywhere you're doing. You're driving traffic to create awareness about it. I have cold called people to say, hey, could you like my page? Like, could you subscribe to my channel? Okay. You focus on that kind of stuff, right? And you drive traffic to your page. Okay. And then last but not least, you test the audience here and there to see whether or not it's warmed up enough and they're responding to it before you start to try to monetize it, before you start to try to do it. And by the way, when people raise their hand, they say, I'm interested. You say, cool, I'll shoot it to you and text it to you. What's your message me your email and your phone number so you can get their information, capture the lead, and then you call them. And in true fashion and form, if you guys have felt like this is a massive amount of value, you can subscribe to my channel where I got all that kind of different stuff. Drive traffic to it. The other thing too is I recognize that most of you guys are in this position where, you know, you're looking at all this stuff, and what I've just talked about is probably overwhelming. And it's like, well, shoot, how do I do video? How do I do these steps? I don't know anything about websites. I don't know anything about that. For the last year and a half, I've been working with a team. I use a company that is named Rahul DMA. He's a guy out of India. I met him through some colleagues. I've been working with him for a year and a half. I use him because he's super smart. He is a fraction of the cost of everybody else. And what I do is I create my content and then he goes and distributes it. He creates the posts, all that stuff that you guys see he's created. I also work with a partner out of Chicago. He's another office owner. His name is Tim Winfrey. He's been on this before. Tim is an audience building master. Him and I are working on agent attraction stuff. And for the last, I don't know, year and a half, I've been working with them. If you guys are interested in learning more about those programs like Ideal Estate and my company, we partnered up with them to offer the Ideal Estate audience some good value. And they're looking for a few extra clients. And so I told them that I would do this webinar, I would share my systems, I would promote them. And if you guys are interested, they can reach out. You can text me or you can text Tim to get more information. But basically it's the entire thing. So if you want to try and go do it yourself, I'm going to shoot you the PDF with all the 8 steps. You can go out and do it on your own. And if you just want to know like what equipment you need, what value you need, how do I create the audience, where do I find the audience, all those people, they've got some pretty good value that charging a fraction of what like most people will do. That's the only way I'm able to do it, truthfully, like, and stay in production and build the office. And those are the people that I trust to do it. So I'll shoot you guys his information. I told him I was going to be doing this training. You guys can reach out to me on that other stuff. Does anybody have any questions? Let me raise your hand. Dee, you still around? She bounced. She probably wanted to ask the question, then bounce. Let me give you this number. If you're super interested, you can text Tim. Yep. So everybody that came to the attendance, I'm going to put all the steps together and fire all that stuff out to you. I will email you all the steps. If you guys have any questions, you can email me at Josh P. I'll give you my email, Josh P at firstclassre.com. If you guys want to see like the work and stuff that we do and all that stuff is on the Ponoisms YouTube channel that I linked there. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Did you guys find this of value? You think that was helpful? Cool. All right. Well, this is going to be the channel that I'm back in action with the weekly webinar. So every Thursday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every Thursday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll have new content, new training. Some weeks it'll be stuff like this. I've never offered a connection to my partners in all the times that you guys have been here and seen me over the last year. I always send out the recording to the video and I always send out the PDF. So we'll get that emailed out. It'll come from josh@ponoisms.com. So you guys will have the video and you'll have the 8 steps. And the team will reach out, make sure you guys got that, make sure it's all good. And if you guys have any questions or you're super, super interested, the text message was there. Next week, I'm going to be doing something along the lines of how to make those initial calls, those cold calls, how to turn them into warm calls, how to keep their guard down. And it's going to be very, very basic, elementary communication stuff that if you've gone through 10 years of sales training, it's elementary, but it's just not taught in the real estate industry. And the people that are teaching are charging thousands of dollars. So next week I will do how to keep people's guards down, how to make cold calling or new client introductions fun, how to use a couple strategies to make sure that we're not battling people, we're not having awkward moments where it's just a nice, friendly, conversational flow that leads to us setting appointments with people that are interested in buying and selling and investing in real estate. And I'll have that emailed out come Monday is when the emails for the topics go out. You can always just use the same link to hop into these meetings every week. And please, please, please do me a solid. If you found value in this and you're not a subscriber, subscribe to my channel. It tells people that on YouTube that they like it and that it'll push it out to more people. So that's the only ask that I got of you guys. Have a phenomenal week. Happy 2024. So you're the Mamba. Let's go take market share. And good luck to everybody. See you guys next week.